I'm currently playing string bass in the St. Lawrence University Community Orchestra. It is a group of 40 or so musicians, and some are very good at the professional level, and some are at the student level, and some, like me, are somewhere in between. I'm often amazed at what we accomplish. We slide and pull horsehair over steel strings using processed pine pitch to make it stick, just so we can send out vibrations. These then get magnified in a hollowed out former tree. Sometimes we just don't have enough skills to hit the right notes at the right speed. Sometimes the wavelengths don't match up. That's supposed to be a B natural, not a B flat. Sometimes the directions of the composer don't make sense, but after a while, with enough practice and rehearsal, the harmony happens. The vision of the composer comes out. The whole happens. We make something beautiful, something we could not make individually. You get intimately connected through these organized vibrations, and when things work out, we come together almost magnetically, and it all seems right with the world. It is a rather mysterious thing, these organized sound waves pulling people together. Richard Wagamese is an Ojibwe from Ontario, and he writes in his book Embers about a dialogue between himself and a wise old woman. "Why am I alive?" he asks her. "Because everything else is," the old woman answers. "No, I mean the purpose," he tries to clarify. "This is the purpose. To learn about your relatives," she instructs him. "My family?" he asks. "Yes. The moon, stars, rocks, trees, plants, water, insects, birds, mammals. Your whole family. Learn about that relationship, how you're moving through time and space together. That's why you are alive." For Wagamese, all my relations is a holy phrase, a sacred mantra. And the most important word is all. It means every person, not just the ones who think and act like us. Even those who act in obscene ways and tear down perfectly good buildings. All means every piece of granite, every blade of grass. We are all related. We are all connected. We all belong to each other. All our relations is a lot of relations. All, it turns out, is really, really big. It includes the microbes digesting leaves, the manure our food was grown in, the biofilm on our teeth, the happy dolphin playing with a plastic bag in the blue, salty depths. There is a shared energy between us all. Gravity constantly is pulling on all of us. Or like quantum entanglement, where scientists take two particles and split them apart, that were originally linked. And they fly off in opposite directions. And even though they are separated by perhaps 1,000 miles, they remain responsive to each other. All these relations are impossibly complex, clouded in unknowing. For whatever reason, I haven't quite figured it out, but there's a lot of spiders in my office, which is right over there. The webs are difficult to see, but they are there. You just have to put your hand under a chair or a bookshelf. And they're translucent for a reason. They evolved to capture their snacks that way. You only notice their thin, wispy strands when the light hits at just the right time. And the silky ribbons are sticky. Sometimes they just won't let go. The webs, they're strong too. In fact, 5 times stronger than steel by weight. And so is the connecting love of the universe. We can't quite see it, if not for specific angles of light that hit just at the right moment. And only when we spend time slowly and give attention, we notice love sticks to us and won't let us go. All the diversity, it does not rupture the wholeness. It only adds to it. This love expresses itself in many shapes, in many forms. And on my best days, I have faith that this web of love goes all the way down and in all directions into a deep integration of all that is. And that we are all weaving this dream together. And I want to believe this web of all our relations is love. That there is something more than we can see pulling on us out of ourselves into the allness. And at the same time, our country seems to be cracking into unrecognizable parts. It's as if a great amount of people are not aware of this sticky web of love connecting all that is. The symphonic web of vibrations, they don't hear them. They don't feel them. But we can have the perspective of all that is. By pondering the cosmically big web, we can see and hear the great orchestra of being. The universe began with hydrogen atoms, and left alone 14 billion years later, we have spider monkeys, wolf spiders, gray wolves, and grandchildren. I assumed the extreme divisions that are happening in our country go back to like the 60s or 70s. I was blaming it on Nixon or something. But this past week, I was recently listening to an episode of Fresh Air with Terry Gross, and she was interviewing the documentary filmmaker Ken Burns on the upcoming film on the Revolutionary War, and she said something about, she assumed that our divisions originated in the Civil War. No. It goes back to the Revolutionary War. Pick a side, you were a loyalist or a patriot. Our country was full of division before it was a country. Division has been happening for a long time. But it's not the way it has to be. The invisible, sticky, strong web of love is easy to ignore and not feel, because though strong, it is soft. Before we are born, we are in and one with our mother. When we take our first breath, we are in relationship with the air which touches everything in our planet. We breathe in life. We are born out of a connection and into more connection. It is love itself that joins us. The energy of the world is love. The web of all our relations teach us to love. If we all lived with this in mind, just think how the world could be. In order to see this connecting love, we do have to tune our instruments, do some exercises, and pay attention to that interconnection. We have to look up at the conductor from time to time, ask questions, paying attention to the weaving together of the love of the universe. Now, mystics from various religious traditions agree that there is a oneness to everything, some force of energy that many call love. It's not just the mystics who devoted their lives to sensing this mystery. It is experienced by those who study chemistry, biology, ecology, and those that try to measure the universe. It's probably not by accident that there are many scientists among us here today. At some point, life formed and developed membranes to keep good things in and bad stuff out. And I think we all got fooled into believing that we were all separated. But the love of the universe is binding us together. That sticky, invisible, strong, but soft stuff, keeping us aware of all our relations. Hate and strife pull things apart. But it is love that connects. It is love that pulls. Perhaps gravity is a form of love. And life itself, a 4 billion-year-old process, is love. It may seem that hate and division are winning, and you know what? Maybe it is right now. Maybe the interwoven web isn't love. It sure doesn't seem like it sometimes. Especially when you see the seal eating the fish and the orca eating the seal. But if you look at things from a larger perspective and away from those individual membranes, there is a symphonic harmony in an ecosystem. Their multifaceted components intimately connect. Life gets attracted to each other to form more life. Love creates more love. It's mysterious, even a little spooky. Love is the web that connects us to all that is. And in the end, love is all that really matters. like probably many of you, I started having these realizations maybe as a teenager. I felt part of some kind of cosmic whole, intimately connected to all our relations. But like everyone else, I get caught up in all the worries and anxieties and all the things of living, and I too easily forget. But when all our relations are integrated, life seems more meaningful. The realization that everything is connected doesn't just feel good, it gives abundant life meaning. This love, this connecting love, has been embraced and manifested by this congregation and the New York Convention of Universalists for 200 years. Something stuck and wove us together, and we put a name on it, and we called it Universalism. And our many ancestors thought we should institutionalize this mystery that brought us together and still sustains us. Something grabbed a hold of us and won't quite let us go. Living solely for ourselves is never going to quite do it. But sensing a universal love in a web of meaning will. Whoever we are, no matter how lonely, no matter how much despair may overtake us, the clear pebbles of rain continue to move over the landscape, and the common Canada geese fly overhead, shouting and calling, reminding us we are in the family of things, all connected in an invisible web of love. So may it be.